everyone, this is Ace reporter Lexie Thorp. Today we are here with Mr. Mike Thorpe, creator of Twilight, World of Lanakar. We are asking him about his new Kickstarter, Civilians of Lanakar. He did not want to do a video, but I insisted.
Thanks, Lexie. Fire away.
Where did you get this idea for this particular Kickstarter?
Well, it's all Martin's fault, probably. Last year, I drew a picture of a city, possibly the year before, and I said to Martin that if he wanted to, he could do a demo table for Salute this year, because we thought it'd be really fun to have a big new demo table. We've had the same nice little round board for a few years. And so he just went completely overboard and decided to build the entire city that I drew. And having done that, I felt I should help him with civilians. So I started sculpting a few civilians. He then converted many, many more whilst I was working at it. But eventually, this selection were basically some civilians that I sculpted for him to use what would have been the Salute demo game today.
Ah. Why is there a fish seller?
Now, this one is the most directly Martin's fault. He sculpted this beautiful little fish stand, and sort of with a little stand with some fish and things to sell on it. And I asked him, if there's one figure I could sculpt for you, what would it be? And he said, somebody to sell the fish. And there it is.
Oh, so that's just like a, please may just sculpt the fish person.
Yes.
Why is there a critter on the cart?
The cart specifically was one of the few ones. My wife Jules was complaining that I hadn't sculpted her a figure. I sculpted one for Lexie and one for Emily, my two daughters, but she had missed out. And so I said, all right, what would you like to sculpt? She pointed to a picture of mine, which was a little cart. I haven't got the picture here, but it's a little cart. And it had a little critter on the back. And she said, please can you sculpt that critter? So I did, and then I got carried away and had to sculpt the cart and the little guy. So he's part of the campaign.
Was it hard to sculpt the little critter?
Oh, if anybody's been following me for a while, you'll know that I love sculpting little critters. So no, it was fun.
Why did you do this set of models rather than expanding the other cultures?
It's a very good question. I really should have been focusing on getting the Kadashi out or something more warlike, but anybody who's followed Twilight for any amount of time will know that I get distracted sculpting little fun civilians and extras, and thankfully it seems that people actually like them, so it seems like a good excuse to keep going that way.
What do people like?
People like the civilians. They like that they bring the whole world to life and aren't necessarily all trying to kill each other, even if that tends to happen in the game.
Okay. Do you base your figures on something, or do you just think of them?
To be fair, I think they just randomly appear in my head. Sometimes they turns out they're
They
inspired.
just go like poof, they're there.
Bit like that. Quite a few of these were taken from drawings that I did as part of last year's Inktober, because every October I try and draw a picture every single day, so it kind of forces me to be creative and come up with ideas. So that's where the cart came from, the Allura handler, any of the others?
Fish
and the fish seller. So they were all based on little sketches, and I'll share them during the campaign.
Where does the tentacle seller idea come from?
That was another Inktober sketch. I just wanted to do a cute little character.
Weird looking tentacles.
With weird looking tentacles. He's a little what's referred to as a genta, which are the young children. And he's out there with his sign trying to sell off some offcuts from what the other sellers are selling. And I sculpted him specifically as the Salute special for this year. But what with Salute not quite happening, he's now part of this set. So, an opportunity to get hold of him.
Does the barrel critter have a purpose, or did you just have fun sculpting it?
Now that's something that nobody knows about yet, and will hopefully, if all goes well, be introduced later in the campaign. So keep quiet. Don't mention that. Is that all your questions?
I don't know. I might just randomly think of something whilst you're explaining those.
That's okay, Lexie. I think that's probably about enough now. But thank you very much, Lexie, for asking the questions, and thank you everybody for listening. as you know, the Kickstarter is hopefully kicking off imminently. It got slightly delayed to me being a bit disorganised, but any time now, I'll hit go, probably in the next couple of days, and then you get an opportunity to get hold of all the set of models that were sculpted specifically for Salute, and ones that have a bit of a grand release. Thanks.